Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Sunday morning here in Texas, and it's a nice, cool, dew-covered morning. The grass is just solid dew. Sun hasn't quite came up yet. It's going to be a wonderful day. The temperatures are lowering down every day. Fall is upon us, and I'm happy for that. I'm really happy for that. Well, I wanted to catch you all up on what's happening in our lives and our travel and everything, preparing to return back to the Philippines, and just a little bit of catching up all around. So let's get started here. So first off, I haven't talked about my solar street lights in a while. These are the ones that I bought over in the Philippines and brought here. Well, as you see, they are still going very good. Now it's about 6:30 in the morning right now, so they've gone all night long, every night, no problem. The batteries hold up really good. I've been very impressed with these lights. My solar system here, I haven't covered a whole lot of videos on it lately. Maybe I might put one up here soon, but my MPP solar low voltage 5048 hybrid charger and inverter, it is doing very well too. It's being used constantly every day, months in, months out, and no problem at all. The Tesla batteries are holding up really good. I've been very happy with them. It's been a pretty stable system, I tell you. I don't have all my panels up yet, but I do plan to get more of them up very soon. I'm going to show you all the baby chicks that we had hatched and grew off in the chickens, and they're just spread out here everywhere. Here's some of them here. They are all young chickens now, and they're spread out all over the place here. I hear them from one side to the other. As you can see, they are all growing up, doing very well. Here comes more of them. As I said, there's just chickens scattered everywhere. This one just come flying at me out of a tree. Saw me here. Well, while we're down here, let me show you okra. This is what they call black okra. See, it's got these dark veins in it. This is a normal one right here. This is the black okra. Let me lean them over here side by side, and you can see the difference between the two okras. You can see the color in the stem as well. Thought this is very beautiful. I ordered these seeds offline, and we like it. Actually, we like the texture of it better as well. Here's another one right here. You can see these, and then you see this black okra. So right now, you see how huge these are. These, because we're letting these all go to seed. These will be our new seeds for the upcoming year, or we may even take some of these seeds with us to the Philippines and grow some of them there, which is what we're planning to do actually. So when we get there, we can kick right off growing again. You all will be going into a winter and fall season here in the United States, but us over in the Philippines, we will be able to continue to grow. Melinda still has some other things growing down here in the secret garden. They continue producing some of the stuff here as well. My good old tractor, it's been able to have a little rest here over the past few weeks, and I might have to be waking it up again here soon. I've got some hay to haul off of a field, and I may do a little bit of fall cutting before we go. Of course, we're not going to leave till November 1, and if the weather holds right and all, and the way this grass is growing, I may cut some nice coastal hay back here off the back field. It's about maybe 20 acres. I may go ahead and cut that and just have that hay just for the heck of it. It sounds like I'm in the Philippines, doesn't it? Just roosters going off steadily. Yeah, so old tractor, I'll probably get it woke up and let it go back to work just a little bit. The roosters are really giving a talk behind me. They're joining in. They're trying to say hello to their Filipino friends. Gonna come on in for the show, huh? Well, just go ahead and say hello. I've got some comments, like some guy commented, "Oh, you make us Americans look bad." He's basically, I don't know, maybe he's because he commented on the video about our Korean Air tickets canceled. It's just an information video. Doesn't mean we can't get to the Philippines, or I'm like a blundering idiot and don't know how to go back. We kind of figured those tickets would cancel. We bought them all the way back in May. A lot's happened since then. I mean, we've already went through many months of this calamity since those tickets were purchased. But it's okay. They were with a full refund guarantee, and that's already taken place, so that's no problem. We booked with Filipino Airlines. We're happier for that. We were going to be landing in Cebu, and Cebu is kind of like been cut off from people going to a lot of different provinces and areas that are coming from Cebu, because they tend to have a little bit greater outbreak there. And so we wouldn't have been able to catch a ferry. We wouldn't have been able to catch a plane coming in to Iloilo. So it's great that those canceled. We kind of hoped that they would, because if they canceled by the airline, then we got a real easy full refund back. If we canceled them, we just got like a flight voucher. It had to be used by a certain date and all of that. So it was to our advantage that they canceled. The next thing is that flying in on Philippine Airlines from LAX to Manila is a direct flight. We'll go in Manila. They got the system down better. Philippine Airlines is working directly with the government, more firsthand than any other airline. So we're going to go through a more streamlined process. And we're pretty happy to know that. Then from Manila, we can get a flight to Iloilo when we get ready to get to our province there. So that is a plus. It's taken care of. Of course, we have to take a domestic flight from Dallas to LAX, and I bought tickets on that. $149 round trip to go from Dallas to LA, and then LA back when we come back from the Philippines next year. So that's pretty cool as well. It's all taken care of. Of course, things could still change. The Philippine Airlines could cancel the flight, but I doubt it. LAX is a major flight for them. There are so many Filipinos that fly out of there from other states, but many from California. I don't know the exact number, but the population of Filipinos in California is astounding. It's huge. So it is a pretty dedicated route for them. So I'm not too concerned on that. And I know the airlines will take care of me. I have a lot of faith in them. I've been flying all these airlines for a lot of years. This was going to be my first time dealing with Delta or Korean Air. Happy it canceled, because now I'm back with the people that I feel more comfortable with. American Airlines and Philippine Airlines. And they have been taking very good care of us. I want you to look at this grass, this coastal Bermuda grass right here. Look at that. I have already cut this twice this year, made beautiful bells, and it's actually ready for a third time now. Man, what good color to it too. It is just thick and rich. Very nice. My pond level stayed up really good this year. Even though we did have a hot summer, we had a very wet spring. The water was overabundant there. We had just enough rains that kept coming along here and there that kept it up. So yeah, it dropped maybe a couple feet, but it's better than it dropping 4, 5, 6 feet, which I've seen it do. Sometimes 8 feet I've seen it do when we get those really hot summers. We had some really warm days this year. It was some scorchers, but just enough rain kept coming along that it would replenish the pond, and the pond did very, very good. Happy for that as well. I was planning on doing some excavating around that pond and doing a little bit of dig out like I did last year and you all seen on videos, but time time I did not have on my side this year with things happen with the calamity, mostly because of my rentals and trying to get a couple properties ready for sale. And let's talk about that. My late brother's house, I put in some long hours. Melinda and I did, and my friend Patrick come help us clean up and do some things around there just a couple times, a little bit, a couple days. And Cap, he came down and he helped me do a bunch of just a small little detail work inside. And he spent probably a couple weeks helping us out. So that was a pretty big blessing. We put in a lot of work. Myself, I put more than anyone. I put in, you know, 15, 16 hours a day on that place, day in, day out, sometimes 7 days a week, because the whole entire property was overgrown. There was trees. I had to cut. The grass in the back 5 acres was so thick, and there was stuff that my brother left down that grass. You couldn't just run a mower through it. And there was all kinds of concrete and bricks and metal and wood. And I broke my mower numerous times, even in places that I thought was cleaned up. And you got into that thicket and it wasn't. But man, did I get that cleaned up. We had to haul junk off. It was in the back for my brother. And y'all seen what the renters did as well. So we got that place really cleaned up. I remodeled that master bath into just like a brand new bathroom, and that was beautiful. We went through and did touch-ups throughout the house and work and baseboards and trims, and we updated all the faucets, you know, those things you want to do, not just the faucets, but the drains and the bottom of the sinks, and replaced every water line, every cutoff valve, those little things that will nickel and dime you, but it makes the house a whole lot better. Had the AC system serviced, put a brand new Rheem hot water heater in, just stuff. Changed out some of the underpinning, worked on the decks, a lot of painting. And I mean, it just goes on and on, and a very deep cleaning on the place. Got the yard back just the way my brother would like it. So it went live on the market on Thursday afternoon, and for the rest of Thursday, as soon as it went live, the agents were getting appointments scheduled and people were coming and looking at it that very day. Friday was overwhelming how many people. It was crazy. The appointment slots for the entire day were full. Yesterday was the same thing. The appointments were completely packed. And today, starting this morning at 7 something here on Sunday morning, here in just a bit, the showings are starting again, going all day. Offers, I've already had a full price offer come in out of California. My realtor said that numerous Californians are contacting her. They're just wanting out of that state. They're tired of it. They've had their full. They want out of there. They want out of how California is operating. And there is a huge exodus out of California, and a lot of them are coming to Texas and a few other states too. And so they want to buy it sight unseen. And my realtor didn't want to do a sight unseen. She wanted it to be like a video walkthrough and this and that. But she set them up with another agent there in her office that went and did a full walkthrough and all. And they're wanting to just give full price for it. That sounds all fine and good, but the problem is their loan is a FHA. And an FHA loan versus a conventional loan, FHA may want you to go through all kinds of hoops, because now you're dealing with the government. They're going to have a lower credit score. They're going to have a lower down payment. And the lender's going to be very, very, very strict about the house. They may want like a foundation engineer, and even though it's a manufactured home, they may want a new technique of bracing underneath versus the old technique and all that, you know, for storm straps and stuff like that. So they can nitpick us to death, and it could be a drawn-out process on that. So that sounds great, you know. Oh, you got a full price offer, but that offer could come with a big headache. Then we got another offer that is almost full price offer. It come in last night, and that one is a conventional mortgage. And so those people are going to be putting a huge amount of money down on that property. They'll probably be putting like $40-something thousand down out of their pocket. Well, with that, the lender's not so stringent. That person on conventional is going to have a higher credit score. So the lender is going to be more relaxed, not so worried about them. They're going to put in a huge down payment, so they're less likely to walk away. And we don't have to go through so many hoops. It'll be more clean cut. And they had a pre-approved finance letter with them as well from their bank. But today we're supposed to receive multiple offers. Realtors inform my realtor. If you don't understand that, in the United States we have what they call a multi-listing service, MLS. And if a realtor lists that property, it's shared to all of these other realtors everywhere. Can share in that listing and go show it and sell it. And not just your one only little agent. Kind of like in the Philippines, you'll have just an agent that you get, and that agent's the only one that knows your house is for sale. But not like that in the United States for my Filipino viewers. Sun's just starting to crack over the trees over there. Well, I can't even see it yet. But I know it looks pretty daylight here, but the sun hadn't even come up. So that's pretty good news. That thing is a hot item. It's booked for showings every single day, all in this upcoming week too. My realtor said it has been a very, very hot item, where she might get 1 or 2 calls a day on the other houses. She said she's receiving as much as 20 to 30 calls a day, just her alone, not even including the other realtors on that house. So that is amazing. We estimate there's probably about 50 inquiries a day. That's pretty amazing. So the other house that you remember we had to put people out via court on, and they did a little bit of damage and they left a big mess all over the property too. Man, this year's been something else. Well, we've worked on that place and we've got it almost ready. Well, the realtor was doing her comps and she mentioned it to a lady. We hadn't even put it on the market yet, and there's a lady that's interested to buy it. So as soon as we have it ready, I've got the documents ready with the realtor. That house too may be sold, and that's part of our mission of downsizing here in the US. So I told her, I said, you know what? That lady, she buys rental properties. I told her, I have 2 more down in that area that I would also like to sell. They've got renters in them now, and they're really good renters. But it's hard for us to live this Philippine life and depend on others to manage that here. Patrick, he was doing it a lot in the past. I noticed he's kind of a little less interested these days. He's back with his wife. He's got a stepson there that he's mentoring and trying to guide the right directions and doing projects with, and that's good for him. That's really great. And I said, you know what? I don't want to continue to put a burden on Patrick to handle everything for us always when we're gone. So it worked for several years. It's great, but it's time to move on. Things change. You got to be fluid. Look behind me. I got a cow. We've got like this pet cow. She's wanting sweet feed, and she will follow me wherever I go. So changes, downsizing, so that our future trips over there each time will get longer and almost permanent. So in the quest to downsize, I'm selling this boat right here. I've had this boat for a few years, and it really don't get used here because we've spent so much time working. And I'm really just not interested in just the lakes here in Texas anymore. I mean, there was a point in my life, I mean, the lake seemed exciting. You know, you didn't live by the ocean. You know, a lake was an exciting place to go enjoy the water and stuff on at a point in my life. But once I started living there at the ocean, the lake just seemed insignificant. Water turns green and a lot of algae and stuff in it. You know, I mean, don't get me wrong, the lakes are still wonderful, but it just doesn't compare with that beautiful ocean, the salt water. I lost interest in the lakes here. So we sold our lakefront property, and I'm selling this boat as well. I've got numerous people coming to look at it today. I've had some offers. I've got 2 jet skis as well. I listed them too, and I've got a couple people wanting to buy the boat and the jet skis all together. So that right there is another piece of our downsizing, and the 2 jet skis. They may be gone today. I want to tell Melinda good morning. Hey, I'm loving your style there. How you like that? Rubber boots and shorts. At your morning attire.
Well, because the grass moisture. So
yeah, the dew.
Yeah.
And she heads out to take care of her chickens every morning, and that dew, so she don't want wet feet like I have right now wearing flip-flops. Yeah. So, good morning.
Good morning. Buenos dias.
So that's my little Sunday morning update for you all. Let you know we do have tickets to go to the Philippines, Philippine Airlines, PR 103 flight LA to Manila. The visa thing for me was not an issue whatsoever. Melinda traveling on with expired passport, especially since we're flying Philippine Airlines. Once again, another benefit. She'll have a travel document because she's a Filipina. She can return home. And they're going to give her a travel document. They're going to issue it about a week before we leave. Everything's good. So that peaceful music that called me basically an idiot, saying that I'm a special kind of American that makes all of us other foreigners look bad or whatever like that. I'm a fool and can't get back in. Well, I'm sorry. I'm not a fool, and I can get back in. And I have a son there. That's one reason. I'm married to a Filipina. That's a second reason. I've got good finances, so there's not an issue on that. I'm not a person they're going to have to worry about becoming a charge to society over by any means. In fact, I donate into my community there. Plan on doing it again. You know, I give, not just take. So no problem. We're getting back in. It's not an issue at all. You know, flight could still change. They could change a date. Anything could happen, and it'll all work out. It'll be fine. And we are excited to get over. And our local government unit, we're close with them. We're a close-knit community. So they're more than willing to work with us as well. So we don't have a problem going home. So maybe you have a problem to go home and you're jealous because we are. It's the only thing I can figure to write me some goofball statement like that. So nevertheless, you just don't know me and my resilience either. But just like many others have went back here recently, you know, of course, y'all seen Tim K, he was already in the Philippines, and just him getting over to another province was a pain in the butt. Mark on Overstay Road, he's made the trip back in. There's, I think it's called the Adhern family vlog. They just recently made the trip back in, and they're down finishing up their quarantine in General Santos City, and many, many, many others. That's just a couple of vloggers that I can name for example. We've got a neighbor right there in our subdivision that's also an expat, and he's been there doing his home quarantine right in our subdivision as well. It's not a problem. So don't know where you come up with that comment, but more power to you. What'd you just dig out of there, Mel?
Actually, I don't know what is this, so I'm going to transfer there.
It's some type of
Like
vegetable in it.
maybe like a, you know, like a vine.
Yeah, it looks kind of like
Yeah.
it. One other thing, Balikbayan boxes. Last week, we shipped our Balikbayan boxes, 4 of them, plus a small, what they call mini, to head to the Philippines. Some of you ask, what's the cost of that? Well, we send the jumbos, and I'll show a card here that they have at the place called XYZ Global. There is a Philippines bank over in Richardson, Texas over there, and they're at that Philippines bank. They actually ship those XYZ Global boxes out of there. I took a little image here of the size boxes they have and the dimensions. I don't have the prices on all of them, but the jumbo cost us $100 flat. I mean, $100 perfect even to go from Dallas to all the way to our home at Iloilo. And that is pretty darn good. We sent 4 of those, because if you just sent the box of a laptop size box, with some company like FedEx, you're probably going to pay that or more just to send that one box with a company like FedEx, where you're sending this huge moving style box to the Philippines for just $100. So we got 4 of those sent, and they're on their way. And so, you know, in case you're planning on sending one yourself right now, talk to your forwarder, talk to your shipper, and see if they think that it's going to make it there by Christmas, if it's something you feel really pressing to get there by Christmas. Because they told us ours are not going to make it there by Christmas. That's what they said. It'd be a miracle if it did, she said. Because so many expats, so many foreigners are away from their family, and they can't get back in there for Christmas. And so what they're doing is they're sending stuff over there, and the shippers are just packed. That lobby had a whole bunch of boxes in it when we were there. And so, good old sunshine right there. I thought I'd let y'all see it. Open your eyes up. And so, if you're going to send, just don't expect it to be there by Christmas. It's probably going to be over in January. We've had that to happen before. Even though this is September, remember, that's going by ship. And what they'll do is, say like where you drop your boxes off, they'll get enough to fill up like a big box truck. And then they're going to deliver that box truck down to a port somewhere, where they're filling up a container that is booked to go to Manila. So then they have to get enough to fill that container, or maybe they're going to fill more than one container. Most likely they're filling multiple containers. And that ship has to get its full load of what all else it's going to the Philippines, it's heading to Manila, before it leaves out of port. So that's the situation on that. And then it's got a slow track across the ocean. And of course, at this point in time too, it is hurricane and typhoon season. So they may have to take longer routes and avoid storms and all that to get over there right now. And then once it hits into the Philippines, it's going to go to customs. And they may spot check those containers. The container is going to be offloaded. They may spot check those boxes, and it's going to go into a big warehouse, and it'll go through like a clearing process. Then once it's cleared through the government, then all of these different forwarders, they have people they're contracted with, little mom and pop companies and stuff throughout the Philippines, that's going to receive those boxes and get them out to your home. And in our case, it's going to have to get from Manila on down to Iloilo, then to one of those shippers, and then to your home. And so it's a journey. It's not like it's just going to jump on an airplane and be there overnight. It's not like that at all. So just know that, and I help you out with a little bit of information. If you're going to ship something, ship it soon. So we're going to close this video out. I hope that you all have a very wonderful day. Hit that thumbs up, share our videos. If you hadn't subscribed, please do. If you want to comment, good or bad, that's okay too. Just be nice, be kind, don't be rude. If you write something rude, I'll delete it. If you just write something that you disagree, that's one thing. But if you're insulting your comment, out the door. All right, Well, Melinda's doing a little watering right here, and we're going to get our day started, and we hope you all as well have a wonderful day too. Take care.